Hello everybody.
Hi.
This feels like such a false start.
Yeah.
We are Blonde Vibrations, and today we are tuning in with Abbie Ozard.
Hello.
This feels so weird. Just full disclosure to anyone, we have just been with each other, setting up, getting to know each other, let's say, for the last half hour or so.
You've been the first guest to have to set up the studio
setup,
yourself. So really thanks to your help.
Pleasure.
Tripod expert.
Yeah. So now it feels weird to kind of dip into what we had planned to say to you, like as a mini icebreaker, but it's fine, we're all friends here.
Yeah. We're friends now.
We actually saw you for the first time at Truck Festival in 2022.
Half an hour spent together and we're like, so we've known you for 3 years.
And we really liked your outfit that day. Like that's one of the things that we came home and would talk about.
Really?
It was like a gingham dress and it was lovely.
Yeah. And
the purple gloves.
We never checked. But I think on your story when you shared it, this is so like we're gonna seem crazy. When you shared it on your story, you were like, lovely set, love the outfit. And I feel like you responded, we were like, oh my god.
I think I'm gonna steal this outfit. Like, I don't know why I have to be so like dramatic about it. But yeah, we still talk about that.
That's so cute. Do you know what? I think that was one of the best gigs we've ever played. Like it was so fun. Yeah, it was. Like it was just so fun.
It feels like such a random
really
core
memorable
memory for us as well, watching it. Like it really feels like a flashbulb memory. Like I remember you on that stage so vividly, and I'm not just saying it because you're here. Like that really like stuck with me.
And also that was our like first and only Truck Festival so far. So it's like the people we saw, including you, like really do stand out.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I remember like it was the first festival we played that like after. Like people, like we had interviews. I had interviews and stuff. I always say we because of the boys, like people after coming over and being like, "Oh, you've got an interview," and I was like, "What? Interview? Hello?" And like Khalees was in the green room next to us, and my sister was with me, and she was like, Khalees. It was so good. Yeah, really fun day.
I remember you doing all the interviews because I remember like. No beef, we were trying to interview you, and I remember we kept seeing you because you were so booked up, and we kept seeing you just stood there and be like, that should be us.
We planned an interview.
What?
Yeah, we should have gotten it. That would have been so cool.
You should have,
We should have just brought the like old interview and just been like, so this is what we wanted to ask you 3 years ago.
We just had it on notes. I think I remember one of the questions was something because we planned it with really like little notice as well. I think it was something about like, are the drinks better up north or something? But mind you, like that was our first like proper festival of like asking questions. So like these questions are a lot better, hopefully.
Yeah. I'll try and find my notebook when we get home and send you. If they're not super cringe, I'll send you what we were gonna ask you. I think that's really funny.
No, send it over. Like I'd love that.
Yeah. Tangent number one of the day. Okay. What we're gonna ask is that your tour outfits feel like an elevated version of your everyday, like curated and eclectic fashion. So could you tell us a bit more about the process of choosing what you wear on stage?
Yes. Yes. With pleasure. So, whenever we have a tour coming up, my mum, helps me make the dresses and stuff. I don't make the dresses, my mum makes the dresses. So we, sift through all of her, she's got loads of, old 80s, Vogue books and stuff. And so, she's a dressmaker, basically. And, she, has a wool shop and she loves knitting and sewing and stuff. So we kind of curate the wardrobe together. It's really cute, So, I mean, for the last tour, she was like, I only have time to make 2 outfits. So I was like, okay, it's fine. So it was a mixture of secondhand stuff and then homemade stuff. So
Like having to book your mum in.
Sorry,
I didn't give you enough.
She was like, I'm too busy. I was like, okay, fine. You have me. I can repeat the outfits. It's fine. It's really fun. I love. It's one of my favorite parts of going on tour. I think thinking about all the outfits.
That must be really special as well. Wearing something that your mum has made on stage.
It's really cute. Yeah, I have had some really bad wardrobe disasters on stage though. Because we've have had a rushed job. I remember there was this white dress and we were supporting Bristol Maroney at Scala. It was last November and it was an off the shoulder dress and it was so cute and I didn't know it would be a problem until I started playing with my guitar and as because I was holding my guitar, like my dress was just like slipping, and I was like had to keep like hoisting up. It was like all I could think about. Like it ruined the whole set. It was so bad, and like I'm pretty sure I did lip slip like at some point. I was
If
like,
it makes you feel better, we did an interview once,
yeah,
and I was in it was a similar situation. I was in like a cropped almost like shirt.
yeah.
And it was like button up. And I don't even know, I think I didn't have all the buttons done up, I can't even remember. And we recorded the whole interview, and we had our friend at the time was like checking the camera and everything, and it was a man. And then I watched the videos back, and I'm like, have you seen my bra the entire episode? And I'm like, why did you I appreciate you not looking there, but like with Peace and Love, like how did you not at any point think like, oh, like sorry, pause, like Lillian, can you pull your top up a bit, please?
Yeah.
And I remember we sent it to our editor, and I was like, you're joking me. But again, it was another one of those situations where I'd waited so long to interview this person. And we'd sent it to our editor, and I was like, please, like, I just look so dumb, like, can you just crop it? And the interview was so like zoomed in, because like literally the entire time you could just see my bra, and I was like, that's fine, but you can tell it's not on purpose.
Especially because
it does ruin the moment.
It does ruin the moment.
You're like, you're joking.
I know, it was like a sold out show. It would have been so fun, but it's all I could think about.
Yeah.
It was a nightmare.
Because with us, like, if I'm looking at you in an interview and like the same thing, I'm not really looking like down anywhere. So it's like none of us in the moment would notice.
No, like no one's looking at it.
But it's the people around, like,
and we were like
be
sat
like,
in a row, and it was a very boisterous interview. So I think I was like just moving a lot. And you don't think about it. You actually
don't. You don't.
Oh,
I've become very self-aware of myself right now, though. Like,
like, what's wrong with me? Exposed.
Then we're just like quick break, like just stare at ourselves. But yeah, so I like the way that you kind of pre-plan, and I guess like what you want a tour to look like and stuff. And I feel like you can see that also with your album. Like I feel like we keep being like, I remember when you did this. Like, I feel like I'm like the ultimate parasocial person right now. But I remember like when you announced the album and all of your like photos around it at the time, like that there's such like a clear vision. I love the way it looks anyway, but I think it also really suits the sound of the album and everything. But did you take a similar process to that kind of, was there a lot of thought behind the visuals between
I'd say it was like 50% visuals, 50% music, and like sometimes I could probably get too carried away with the visuals, but I think visuals are really important for me. I feel like it's a whole point of it, you know. You're not only creating like a good body of work, but you need to make sure that like the visuals are there as well, I think. For me anyway.
Visuals in mind as you're writing music?
Yeah.
Or, So it kind of happens at the same time?
Yeah, fully. Yeah, I mean with that album, it was weird because the Pink Church that we like did all the shoot at, and like the Miss American Dream music video and everything, was like right by my family home, like the next town, and I've never seen it before. And like as we were, me and Shaz, the girl that I do all my visuals with, we were discussing what to do. I was like, I don't know, like I need to figure it out. And I was driving, and it was on the motorway, and it was just like this pink church, like, and I was like, oh, the Pink Church. So I was like, that is where we're gonna do everything. Like, it was, I feel like that was the centre of the whole imagery.
Yeah, it feels like that is the setting for the album, and I guess it makes sense because it's on the cover, so like you would, but I do think with the music video as well, like I think if there was a location for the album, it would be that. It would be that.
Yeah, it just made so much sense. I was like, that's it. Yeah.
We think in a similar way, like before we've even developed an idea, it's well, what's it gonna look like? Well, we were in B&M the other day, and we just found this like, this is spoiling.
I love B&M.
If we end up using it, we saw this like toddler's like princess. What was it, like a little gazebo thing?
Oh, sick!
We were like, imagine if we interviewed people in there.
Oh yeah.
It's giving
like everyone could like huddle up in the gazebo. Yeah, that's a really good idea.
Someone's gonna steal it now.
I know. We were like, we didn't get it because we were like, well, that's a toddler on the picture, so like, can we fit at least 2, probably 3 adults in there? Like, would that?
You'd probably get like an adult-sized.
We should, hopefully. Hopefully by the time this comes out, we've sorted that.
Yeah. 2 weeks notice.
We'll do it.
No, I feel like you guys are super visual as well, to be fair, with everything. With everything.
Jasmine.
Yeah.
No, I feel like we are. I think we always joke that when we started the podcast, we like soft launched it. It was the weirdest thing, like again, because we started as a student radio.
Yeah.
We like we talk about this all the time. We soft launched this radio show, like anyone was A, listening or B, cared. We were like posting like coming soon, and it's like no, actually, like no one knows what you're doing, no one knows who you are, and like it is nothing at that point.
No, our like visuals were just like, it looked like a slideshow, just like Sex and the City. We were like, that's the vibe, and everyone's gonna get it. And it's like, you have 0 followers. Like, what are you on about? Like, what are you actually doing?
4 followers and they're all our own accounts.
Like, in our head, like, we knew what Sex and the City meant to this 1 hour radio slot where we're just playing like Declan McKenna for a minute. Like, for us, that makes sense. Like, that's a clear like pipeline. But to anyone else, it's like, what does that literally mean?
But I think it's nice. I think that's kind of like a fun part of being creative, I guess, isn't it? And I think it's nice that in both of our like worlds you can really indulge in that. And I think that's like fun and
and for you guys to be like, oh, you've clearly put a lot of time. I'm like, thank you. Like, that actually means so much, because you think, oh, well, like, I'm going to all this like effort and I'm like trying to curate this vision and like no one's gonna get it, or like, but when people
do. Like, and I think it's something we talk about a lot on Tuning In, actually, which we weren't expecting, and it's really nice. I feel like with the series, I feel like it's almost like healing for ourselves as well, because pretty much like everyone we have on the show is very similar to you in the sense of like, they're like, I put so much thought into these visuals, and then I just like, people might not get it. But I think with kind of the like, I'm very conscious of just like repeating myself, being a broken record, but with kind of the rise of so many like amazing like female musicians at the moment, there is there's an increase of people caring about the world around albums, and it feels like you have been doing that for a while, as we've made it very clear. But I think people are starting to appreciate it more now, more than ever before. And I think it's really satisfying.
And like, also, I guess when you're doing it, you're not doing it for the people, really, are you? You're doing it for yourself. So as long as you get it yourself, that's the most important thing.
But it helps when people know.
It does help, like, it's nice. Like, give me some validation.
Now and then when you get a comment, like, it's the screens. The moment anyone's like, the screens are so cute, I'm like oh,
thank you.
Like,
thank you.
So talking a little bit more about your live shows, what does a show day look like for you? Do you have any particular rituals or lucky charms that you need alongside you? And does it also change between like a headline show, support slot, or festival slot? Yeah,
kind of. So I always make sure I have, like, if I can, like a slow morning. I'm like, we're being calm, like we're being slow. I'm trying to think. It usually winds up with the boys coming to mine. Like, we pack like the car or the van. If it's, a lot of the time it's a car, and we're all like muddled into. And then,
Jenga.
It's a nightmare. Like, it takes about half an hour to pack the car if it's a car, because it's like so full. And then we usually just get food on the way. If it was a headline show, I guess we have to be there kind of early. So I think I just kind of play it by ear. We don't have any specific rituals. Like, if I was to say, Luke and Jack, my guitarist and drummer, if I was to be like, guys, like, let's huddle together, and like, they'd be like, no.
Like pre-game talk.
Yeah, they'd be like, fuck off. They're like, I guess they're too cool, man. They're too chill.
I can't imagine you doing like locker room talk.
Yeah, I know, like hands in the air, like pa, like let's go. Like they hate that. So I try and like I have some time to myself. I feel like I'm quite silent before a show. It's important just to.
You can't listen to any
take
music
a hot second.
Anything.
No. Yeah, not really. I'll have like one beer, maybe two, if it's like a headline, and then like any more than that, I can't. Like, I'm like, no, I need to.
I'm always amazed when people drink heavily before they perform. I'm like, you
I
are
could
actually
never.
crazy.
Yeah,
like,
I could never.
I can't imagine. We were talking to people the other day about like festival interviews.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, you just need like a beer before you do it. And I'm like, yeah, I get that. Like, I think during this, it's like, I don't feel it anymore, because obviously
Yeah.
we're in here at 10 a.m. But when we first were doing festival interviews, we were like, we need like a White Claw at least. But now I'm like, oh my God, I can't imagine having like multiple drinks and then being like, hey, welcome to Long Vibrate. Like, no
you're
one
watching
wants
it
to
back,
see
you're
that.
I think we're too nervous as people. I think maybe if we were a bit more like easygoing, like,
Yeah.
get the drinks in. It's
Get the
fine,
drinkies
let's
in.
drink while we interview too. But like, I don't think we could ever do that.
No, and I can't burp as well. So like, if I had a beer, I'd be like, I couldn't sing. So.
Yeah, power to
we did this one gig once, and we were playing. It was a festival in Scotland. I can't remember the name of it. It was ages ago, and my manager messaged me, and he was like, "Do you want to play another show at like midnight?" And we were like, "Yeah, like sick, let's do it." But we were quite drunk, and we played this show, and like everyone in the room. It was weird, like school hall. It was a fever dream, like I can't. And we were all just like, yeah, it was quite embarrassing. Luke like tried to get onto the stage and he like fell on the stage. It was like, I don't know how he sounded. I was like, never again. Never again.
That's the best scenario for you to try that out, isn't it, I guess?
Yeah.
Because, like, it's midnight, you've already done one.
Yeah, because we didn't think we'd have another. We were like, yeah, it was fun. Yeah.
And we've kind of been thinking about the process, because obviously we look kind of backwards at what you've done, and you did the album and you've done the tours, and I think it's really fascinating kind of as outsiders to that process, kind of seeing the cycle of writing, releasing, touring, and then you kind of are expected to repeat, and like I guess I'm kind of interested in like what your experience kind of has been like with that, and how you kind of feel like you persevere with that cycle, both like, I guess emotionally and logistically.
Yeah, do you know what, if I'm being really honest, I find it really hard. I think it's important to have time in between projects, because I think with the album, I was in the album headspace for so long, and I was in it for long after, and I think a lot of artists, they're already kind of onto their next project before, you know, the album's even released, and like I wasn't, like I was just still in like everything still worries me mode. So like, and yeah, even after the album, like you still got to promote it, so you spend months promoting it, and I was kind of, and I didn't write for ages. Like I've only just started properly writing the past like 3 months, like January. So I think, and then you've got the stress then of thinking, oh, I need to release something this year, like, you know, or I need to release like a project or like a single. So yeah, I do find it really hard actually. I think I need to probably learn to like get into, because I think it's because I think in eras as well, and like I don't think people care that much about eras. So it's like I need to kind of just see it as like one project instead of like different eras, you know.
It's interesting that you were saying about eras, because I don't know if anyone is on Charlie XCX TikTok.
Yeah, I saw it last night.
Have you seen it? Yesterday she posted something about like kind of it was the tension between the era of Brat and wanting to go away and leave and not post for ages until the next project, and allowing things to keep going. So I think you think in a similar sort of like era.
Yeah, fully. I remember someone commented, didn't they, saying like Mariah Carey gets defrosted every Christmas. Like you can get defrosted every summer. She was like, that makes so much sense. But yeah, I think it depends, isn't it, if you think in eras or not? And I feel like I definitely do. So yeah. You want to do this like grand reveal and like, you know, like delete everything and be like,
But I also think that might come with you being so like emotionally like attached to your work, because it is, and we will get into kind of the like more nitty gritty of like your music, but I think what we're seeing the more we speak to people is when you put so much emotion into a project, it is harder for you to close it. Whereas if you were doing like a concept album, I bet it'd be really easy for you to be like, I'm not in album mode anymore, delete everything. I think what we see, and again maybe that this is like a woman thing, but I think because people put so many emotions to it, it's then hard to just close that, because the emotions are still there.
It's not concept, it's your life.
Yeah, and also with like Everything Still Worries Me, it's like I kind of assumed that once I'd done that album and I'd like toured it or whatever, I'd be feeling really good. And I was like, you know, maybe the next project could be something like nothing worries me anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like more of like a happy, like kind of go lucky type project, but like it's still there. Like everything like still worries me still. So it's like it's hard to kind of leave it, and I don't know. Yeah.
I always feel like, you know, the Taylor Swift, like I'm still at the restaurant.
Yeah.
Like I'm still at every restaurant ever, every moment ever. Like I think we're such nostalgic people.
Yeah,
like I'll
absolutely.
think that like this is why we keep talking about like 2022. Is that like I can still picture us there.
Yeah.
And then I think, oh, we're actually not the like newbies we were trying to like get you in a corner. Like that's not us anymore. But I still feel like we are. Like so I'm always impressed when people are able to just like that album's done. And once
I know. I wish I could do that. I really do. But yeah, we'll see.
It's interesting that you keep kind of bringing up this idea of everything still worries me. How do you overcome worries in your day-to-day life? Or do you, I suppose?
I really don't. I really don't. I don't know. Breathing. Deep breathing. Yeah. Like, I don't know. I guess I try to have, like, because my life is so unstructured, it's like I've got, like, 3 part-time jobs. I'm, like, doing music and, like, whatever. I think I try and keep, like, some kind of routine. Like, maybe that's food. Maybe I'm quite routine with my food. Yeah. I don't know.
And it gives you the time to stop, doesn't it?
Skincare?
If you're thinking, like, this is my 3 meals a day, and even if I'm at one job one day, one job at the other, I've still got my 3 meals. That is still
but it's probably I think I like, and I love being at home as well. Like I'm quite like a home bird. Like I love being in my space and just being able to, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's like a really big help. Like I try and make everything look like cute. So it's a nice place to be. And I think that is, it's probably just being at home. Yeah. I think that's probably how I deal with it. Yeah.
I feel that as well. I'm that person that, because again, I think it's a thing with being creative and like doing projects is doing that. Like I'm going to do loads of part-time jobs and I'm going to have to work and then I'm going to have to do this. And I think having a space where you can go and just be yourself. I'm a big believer in the like in the home.
Yeah.
I mean, my research is in the home, but like I think it's so important that you can then have that time where you kind of switch off and just
like reset days, like cleaning. Like this sounds so lame, but like I love a clean. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like I love just like taking care of my space and then like I feel so much better after. Yeah. I think that's probably, to be honest, that's probably how I deal with stuff, is just like frantically tidy, because I'm not like a naturally tidy person. Like I've got stuff like all over the place, so I'm trying like
it's interesting that you said that you kind of expected to feel better after releasing the album, because you are very kind of open about what is it, the like confessional lyrics, like all of that, and like we were saying, the album is so emotional and your songwriting is so emotionally driven. Did you ever feel any sort of kind of therapy from writing about it? Like or was it more when you released it? I don't know. What were the emotions?
Do you know what? I think the process of writing the album was a therapy. Like that, just getting to focus for like a year or 2 years, whatever, on like creating these songs was so fun. And like it's all I thought about. Like there was no time to like be like sad or like anxious or whatever. So that for me was definitely like a really good feeling. And then post album was awful. Like for like, I mean, it was July, wasn't it? So since July, I've just been like, which I think is probably, you know, working on like another project will be like the saving grace to that, I think. But post album, no one talks about post album as well. It's like it's such a weird feeling. I remember the night it got released, we had like a party on like the street where I live, and I was with my best friend and Tabs, and I was kind of just like stood outside this bar just like kind of into my cup, like, and she was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, yeah.
That's just a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, it's weird. It's just such a weird feeling because you spent so long like curating this thing that means so much to you, and it's just out, and then you're like, oh,
Goes back to it being like so like deeply your life. Now
Yeah,
everyone out there is
it's really
digesting
weird.
what no one knew about you before.
Yeah,
now
it's-
everyone gets to put their own spin and like opinion and perception of like what you've said.
Yeah, it's
really
weird.
weird.
I thought it would be like an amazing feeling, and it was, but then I think, then it kind of wasn't, and I think it's taken me a long time to kind of come to terms with, you know, having it like out there, you know, and then moving on. So, yeah.
It's weird when you put something out into the world whenever, isn't
Hate
it?
it.
Because it's
Hate
like
it.
you don't get this actual big emotion. Like
Yeah.
I still feel like we could do the like most impressive interview or whatever, and then you put it out and you post it on Instagram. I think it almost happens delayed for us. I think like we'll launch something, and then a couple weeks later I'll be like, that's so weird that that's just out, and that's really cool. But I think in the moment I'm never like, wow, it's kind of like especially when you do like scheduled posts and like I guess the album's out at midnight, like that's that. And it's just like it just happens and you don't necessarily press post, it just is out there. And I really find that sometimes I just sit there and I'm like, oh okay.
Or someone brings it up like a while later, like months after you've interviewed someone, but I was just watching that interview the other day, and it's like, what? Like,
you're actually watching it.
Like we were at Universal the other day, and someone was like, I saw your TikTok the other day, and even with that, like that's a TikTok, that's nothing even touching the surface of like an album or anything, but it's like you see the TikTok, because
you see the views, and like I think we've been that. Because we're watching like how many views we get all the time. Like, I don't know if you guys like post a TikTok and you refresh it, you'd be like, hello. But you don't see it as actual people, do you? And I think the moment you start like viewing socials as, oh, actually like 1,000 people have watched this, like that's really cool.
Yeah.
Because there's so many people that have got like millions of views, especially on TikTok. Like there's million views on like so many videos. You don't. I don't know, I feel like you just don't actually appreciate the numbers.
Yeah.
You put so much pressure on yourself to reach like a certain amount of views or whatever, but you don't actually sit back and be like, oh, people have actually watched this. Like that's really cool.
And I think it's that moment after you do something, isn't it? You don't have that. Like you don't have the moment it goes out. Yeah. And maybe that's like, God, this does feel like therapy and like psychoanalysis, but maybe that's then why it comes out and then you sit there and you're like now what? Because it's like, well, you don't have the numbers yet. You don't necessarily have feedback or anyone being like, this is really cool. Yeah. It's just there, and there's a brief moment in which you release something and it is just there. Yeah. And there is nothing attached to it. Yeah. Isn't that so weird? It feels so like...
No,
like
it does. And then I go through such phases with social media as well. Like I hate like being perceived sometimes. I'm like, I cannot. Yeah. But then sometimes I'm just like, I don't care. I'm like,
social media is so weird as well when you're creative. We talk about this all the time, don't we? Is that it's just like,
I hate it. Yeah,
it feels like it goes against anything you should want to be when you're creative.
Yeah, like where's the mystery?
Yeah.
Hello.
It's just
like
so much of you out there.
Yeah.
Like when we were talking to someone the other day and they said that they don't put their surname on anything creative that they do, and it's like, there's so much of us
some people
online.
are like, they don't say their name.
I wish that I'd had like a different name. And I'm like, I can't change it now, it's too late probably. But like I really wish that I had like a stage name. Yeah, because then I could separate like my actual name to, you know, I don't know.
I think we're quite lucky in the sense of we are Blonde Vibrations, that is us, it is our names. But I think because we're kind of like a double act, I think we're quite good at then being like, oh, but I am my own person. I think at first we didn't have that. I think within like the past like year or so, I think we kind of had this moment where we were like, we need to be individual people. Like, otherwise we are going to become those twins speaking at the same time. Everyone's going to be like, what are you talking about? But I think you have to put such work to separate it, and I can imagine that is really hard when like it is your name and it is your face, because
like regrets.
Yeah.
Regrets.
What would your stage name be?
I don't know. I actually don't know, because I've been thinking about this quite a lot recently. It used to be Abbie Francis, like when I first started up, which is my middle name. Yeah. But then everyone was like, why would you do Abbie Francis? Because like Ozard's like a cool surname. And I was like, oh yeah, true. But yeah, when I first started making music, it was Abbie Francis, and then I kind of changed it. But so maybe that.
I was gonna say there's no way to like shoehorn this in a subtle way. That's so interesting that your middle name's Francis. Isn't that Emma Chamberlain's middle name, right?
Yeah.
And you have such Emma Chamberlain energy. I don't know if you've been told this, but like,
I have.
it's a compliment.
Oh, like this guy.
You really do.
Yeah.
But
We
like,
all
your
see
friends.
that.
She
Oh my god, Emma.
Oh my god, Emma Chamberlain sides are singing role models. Like, this is going to be like clickbait for the ages. Like, that's gonna go
Do you know what?
crazy.
It's funny. Like I have a massive crush on Tucker as well. Like
We just need to get you in a room with him. That's okay. Like,
We will be keeping this professional from our end because we want to interview him. But that's not an unpopular opinion in this room. Let's just say that.
like, do you want to
So
be our
good.
producer? We get on the show.
I'll set up your tripods for you.
I can see what you can do with a tripod. Like a welcome anytime.
He'll walk in through and be like, what have you done? What is this set up?
Imagine doing an interview and someone that looks like your ex is stood behind the camera.
Yeah, you're like, hello.
Like, that's something that like
Ooh.
nightmares are made.
Yeah, I have a nightmare fuel. Yeah.
I feel like we've gone on such another
Oh,
tangent
God.
again. Was there a lyric or verse that almost felt too vulnerable to share? Did it change or need any edits before you were ready for the world to hear it? Or do you just put everything out there?
No, I don't think so. I think what is on there is pretty much what came out my brain, I think, I don't think I adjusted anything. I think a lot of the songs just came out like straight away. And then a lot of the songs, like, I took longer to curate the lyrics. So, but my favourite way of writing lyrics is to just be like, bam, and then just kind of leave it. I don't like stewing over it for too long, because then it doesn't feel right that, I don't know, I think it's meant to be a bit of a brain dump situation. And I think, I don't know, the last track on the album, Think For Yourself, I'd say it's probably like the least pop, it's kind of a random track, to be fair. It's like, what's going on? I listen back and I'm like, okay, like, okay, go off. I'm like, oh, what's happening there? But like, I'd say that was probably the most vulnerable one, lyric-wise. And yeah, I remember at the end, we basically, me and Ben, who I did it with, we like listed all the, you know, the self-help things that you see like on TikTok and stuff. And like, it was like, eat every day, drink some water, like, yeah. And I think that whole verse and that song was definitely probably my most vulnerable, I reckon.
Yeah.
Which is, it felt like a good way to close the album, I think.
Do you think it gives you kind of comfort if, like, going back to you thinking about seeing your music in eras,
Yeah.
do you think that then gives you more comfort to be confessional? Because it is like, regardless, like, that is how I felt, that is exactly how my brain was
Probably,
thinking.
yeah, probably. It's, yeah, I'd be interested to know like what a project would look like, you know, if I was fully like comfy and happy. But I don't know. Yeah, probably.
I don't know how people have like loads of time in between doing something and releasing it. I get so twitchy, like even when people will talk to other interviewers and they'll be like, yeah, so I just record like the entire season and then it comes out like really slowly, and I'm like, gosh, like that is even crazy to me. Like I remember when we did our first lot of recording for this series, we did 3 in a day and we released every other week. So it meant that we were releasing them over, I guess, the span of like just over a month. And that felt so weird to me because by the time the last one came out, obviously I love every episode, but by the time the last one came out, I felt a bit detached from it.
Yeah.
Who are those people?
Yeah.
Like, what
Yeah,
is
I can't like schedule posts or anything like that because
like I don't feel like that's me anymore. I don't know what the experience was like for you, but I felt
I get
like
that.
I don't know, it's giving like, you know how you're not supposed to touch baby animals? Like, what animal is it?
Hamsters.
Is it hamsters that like you're not supposed to touch them because they'll get rejected by their mum?
Yeah.
Oh, birds.
Is it
I think
birds?
it's birds. I think
I
so.
don't know. Yeah,
I don't
actually,
know.
maybe.
No,
but
I think it is. Yeah,
that's
yeah.
how it feels to me. It almost feels like I've been like left away, like maybe the episodes, I don't know which way around, but maybe like the episodes the mum and like I've been rejected now, like I'm not attached to it.
Yeah.
Even though that is me in there, that doesn't feel like me anymore.
And those first ones as well felt very out of body in itself anyway. So like sometimes looking at yourself, you are a bit like, is that me? What just happened?
It's weird, yeah. And do you know what? Like when the album came out, which was last summer, I was so happy and content. And so that was a weird feeling as well because I was like, ooh. This was written, because it was written across a span of like 2 years. Like I was never I never sat down and was like, okay, I'm going to write an album.
Yeah.
And I think that is a whole thing about like juggling like music and having a part-time job as well. You can't like just go away for a month and be like, I'm writing my album.
Can't just go to a retreat and get it
No,
done.
you
Come
can't
back,
like,
yeah, it's done.
oh, that would be the dream, but like you can't. So naturally all the songs are kind of like, they're all over the place because you're in like different moods. Like I'll have like a week, you know, I'll come to London, I'll do some writing, and then like a few months later I'll have like another week, and then it's kind of, so I think that's like the album reflects that a lot because the moods are just like, what the fuck's going on? Yeah, so I'd love to just like my dream would be like just go away and just like write an album, and then I'm like, that's how I felt at that time.
Yeah.
You know.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to move on to the agony aunt section.
Okay.
These are from your listeners. One of them is a lot shorter, and then one, there is a lot of detail. So we need to,
Really?
like, buckle up for it.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
ease into it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Put on your agony aunt hat.
We'll go with the shorter
on.
one first.
Okay.
From your experience, what things have you had to overcome as a non-male in the music industry?
Like, where
This
do
is
I
the space
start?
for it. Like you
Where
can be
do
as
I
candid
start?
as you want.
How much time
Wait,
do we have?
what things have I had to overcome? I think being assertive. Being assertive does not come naturally to me. I'm like the least. I'm like, no worries if not.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm so sorry to have to ask. Like,
Well,
sorry.
you know we do that. You've seen us do that.
Yeah.
That's what just happened.
It doesn't come naturally to me, and I think I'm actually still working on it. But like being assertive, I remember I had this, and like not being afraid to just be like respectfully, like, you know, fuck off. But like I remember I was at this session once, this random writing session, and I was like humming a melody. I was like, well, he was like playing, you know, something in the background, so I was trying to like come up with a melody, and he was like, shh, 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 shh. I was like, I've just been shushed. And I didn't say anything. I was like, oh, sorry. And then I came out and I was like, like I should, like, you know, it wasn't going well, like, anyway. I should have just been like, I've got to go, sorry. Do you know what I mean? So I think I'm definitely still learning, but I think the older I get, the more I'm just like, I don't care. I'm just like happy to say it.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
crazy
so-
how much, like, I'm very aware of saying it, that it's very anti-men, but
Yeah.
something that we always realise is like ambition, that like,
Yeah.
and it's that difference between like ambition and then like the confidence to say like, oh, actually don't shush me, whereas like men are so like, I am the best person in the room,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna shush you, but it's like, but you're there for you.
Yeah, I know. And I'd never be like, can you not? Because I hate confrontation, I hate that kind of thing. But imagine if I'd have said that. I like iconic. Like if I was to tell someone, I'd tell someone else to say that. You know, like why wouldn't I do it? Because I'm like, oh, I don't want to ruin the vibe. But he's already ruined the vibe.
Yeah.
He's
You
the problem,
know?
not you.
Yeah,
Just 'cause
you
you're
ruined the
calling it
vibe.
out.
No, it feels like we're agony aunting.
Yeah.
You
It's okay, it's fine.
Thanks,
I
girls.
think like brat culture and like diva culture is kind of helping with that, isn't it? 'Cause
Yeah.
at the time, I bet you were like, God, I just don't want to be a diva.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's like, I wish we were divas more, actually.
Yeah.
You're so conscious of that, aren't you? Like especially in the music industry, like during sound checks and stuff, you don't want to be like.
Yeah.
But whatever.
We
like,
had it all the
literally, who cares?
time. When we started like going to festivals, people would kind of just like not take us seriously, and then I think because of that, you then don't want to be a diva. You don't want to be like, well, actually, like, no, you are going to set up this interview for us because like X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
But we had that like really awkward balance, and I don't know if you have this as well. Where you go in and you're like, they're expecting me to be like really ditzy, so I'm trying to be strong, but I'm trying not to be too strong.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to strike that balance.
It is.
And you're supposed to be like likable, and it's like,
there's that as
how am I
well.
supposed to be likable right now?
Yeah, sometimes like being too forgiving in life or it doesn't get you what you want on the day, and that's your time is then gone, and you can't get that
Gone,
back.
yeah.
If you'd been, or if we'd have been a bit more like assertive, we might have got a bit more.
Yeah.
But then it's weighing up like that's not us.
Yeah,
like, we
do
don't
I
go
want
in
to
and
come
step
across as
on
a bitch
people.
or it's hard. I think I was watching these like CEO trick videos the other day, and like I can't remember who it was. But they were saying, you know, like kind of mind games that you can play to get stuff to do people for you, and be like, oh, would you know, oh, would you be able to do that? Like, that would be amazing. You know, stuff like that. And I was like, maybe I need to watch more CEO tricks.
We'll have to find that.
Oh,
yeah,
our friend Caitlin loves those. She's obsessed with this body language one. Like,
Oh.
she won't mind us bringing this up, but she literally, like, she sent us about 5 clips from the same podcast about body language. And I was like, no, this is so powerful.
Yeah, it was
like, I
about,
respect
like,
it, but
the hands, like the...
Yeah, and like, because it was like centered around like dating and like being approachable at a bar and stuff. So it was like being open. What was it? Looking at someone who's like, keep looking at them and just keep looking and then look back and look away and keep doing it.
But it's like things like that do help, and I think even if it's not necessarily like, oh, I'm using my hands in a specific way so people are going to take me seriously, but it's also like, if you feel like it, and then you start acting on it. I guess,
it's so mood dependent as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so like cycle dependent as well. Like if you're like during your period or something, like you don't, do you know what I mean? I don't know. You're not feeling like confident enough to be like,
absolutely.
I don't know. It's weird.
It's really hard. Like, I don't know. I think it's really hard having emotions sometimes in the music industry, and I think that does go back to your like studio. Like I'm circling back to the studio thing. Is that it is just like there's so much going on in your head, and then in that moment you're just like kind of going in overdrive. Like, I know we have this, and we kind of just like sat there. Even like this morning we were like sat there and we were just like I don't know what to do. Like there's so many emotions, and it is like hormonal, isn't it?
It probably is. It probably is.
It's just
Girls so confusing.
Girls.
Everything is always girls so confusing.
It's really like Jake saying that I describe you girls so confusing.
So confusing.
Right, should we jump into the next one?
Yeah.
Just an FYI, I've subbed out to the words "got with." You know what we really mean.
Okay.
I got with one of my closest male friends. He's also my bassist after a night out. He admitted he's had feelings for me. He's in a long distance relationship for months, but he told her on the same day that we got together that he needed alone time. He said to me that he probably won't break up with her, but he also won't tell her about us either. I feel so guilty for not telling the girlfriend, but worry that I would be hurting her unnecessarily. He isn't the type to cheat though. Please help. He is the type to cheat.
He did.
Well, he is. Yeah, I'm
Sorry.
like, yeah, with love, he probably is the type to cheat. I think, it's really sticky. I'd probably tell the girl.
Yeah.
Would you guys? I
I
think
think so.
I think the right solution would be to like obviously sack the whole thing off. I know if he's your bassist, so that's again girl so confusing. Yeah, but like there's more bassists. I think
bassists out there.
There's probably 10 out on that street.
Yeah. Yeah,
They're already killing it. Like everyone's probably a bassist.
Everyone's
a piece
playing
of cardboard.
Or I don't know. I think it depends how close you are to the girl as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes like it's not. I think it depends how close you are to the girl.
I guess it's
I would
also like
probably
if you're still going to work together, the assumption is that the girlfriend will be at something at some point, right?
Yeah, it's not like she's
Like what
never
happens
gonna
if the
come to a
girlfriend
show.
comes to your show and then you...
And like, you both know it's happened, like there's going to be some sort of like, not necessarily chemistry, but attention. Like, I can't imagine like, if he said he has feelings, you're going to be able to just go back to business as usual. Like at some point, something's going to crop up.
That he said feelings for the person who wrote it in.
Yeah. So shouldn't he really be breaking up with the girlfriend?
But he's got a long-term girlfriend. Yeah, so he needs to break up with his
He should break
girlfriend.
up because like, do you want to be with him is also the question.
Yeah.
If you guys both want to be with each other, although he said he won't break up with her.
Well then,
You should.
like obviously just don't sleep, like get with him again.
Yeah. Do
And
you think that the bassist and the long-term girlfriend could stay together if the person who wrote it in told the girlfriend? Like, what is your opinion on like people staying together after? I guess
Yeah, potentially, but then like they'd break up a year down the
you
line.
think it would kind of be inevitable? Yeah,
I think it depends. Like I think if you're in like a deep like marriage situation and you're like older with kids, then there's a possibility that you could just stay together after having like a scandalous affair or something. But I think if it's long term, but like early long term, do you know what I mean? I think I mean I couldn't overcome that.
I think
the trust has been broken now. Sorry.
I think the relationship's doomed, so I don't think
It's
it matters
doomed,
whether
yeah.
you tell her or not. Like, it will come
Yeah.
out at some point anyway.
I would do the
Yeah.
like, if you don't tell her, I will. Like,
Yeah,
it should be from him, but if
also
he's not
like,
going to.
yeah, but also, does the person writing in, did they know that he had a long-term
I
girlfriend?
think so.
I'd assume so if it's...
I believe if it's one of
Yeah.
her closest friends, you probably would have seen.
Wait, the long-term girlfriend's one of her closest
Like,
friends?
the person that wrote in and the bassist are close friends. So you'd assume that, like,
okay, sorry. Yeah.
they would know about
Yeah.
the relationship.
It's a really sticky sit.
Yeah.
Like
Good luck.
everybody makes mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah. But I feel like we, to a certain point, there's nothing you can do.
I think your idea would be like, if I don't, if you don't tell her, then I will. I think
She should know in some way or
I
another.
think so as well, but that's a really hard thing to hear when like you were in the situation.
it's the right thing to
It's
do.
not going to be nice to tell her.
No, it's
Yeah,
horrible.
that's gonna be
Everyone
really
hates
bad.
like
Like if
confrontation.
you're in a relationship and you got cheated on and someone out there knows, I would want them to tell me.
I would want
Like
them to tell me.
I wouldn't care if they're not close to me. It could
Yeah.
be someone who's met me once.
Yeah.
You could message me and be like, you've been cheated on. I'm like, thank you so
Thank
much.
you for letting me
Thank
know.
you.
You
Yeah.
could take the approach where you're like, I have done this. I am so sorry. But this is what's happened. I will leave you guys to figure that one out.
Oh, it's so difficult.
The girl might end up disliking you.
Well, yeah.
Like, just
well,
FYI, because you were
100%.
part of it and if you did know that she existed.
And I think you have to own that to a certain extent and be like, I know I've done something really bad too.
Yeah.
like, it happened.
Yeah, but and also remember, like, everything's temporary. Like, in a few years' time, like, you'll look back and you'll be like, oh, whoops,
Yeah.
like, that was a moment.
And it will be a funny story.
Yeah, it
Like,
will.
It's actually
Yeah.
really like fun once you're out of the situation to be like, there is this crazy situation. Like you've got like the icebreaker to end all icebreakers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing like a really uncomfortable story a few years later.
Yeah. I always like to think of things as well, like when I'm, if I ever make it to like, 70 or something, you'll look back and you'll be like,
Yeah.
I was silly and I was young and that was fun.
And it's just like a Fleetwood Mac moment.
Exactly.
Like you just have to think about it like that.
It happened.
Yeah, most people have been there.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good luck.
Yeah.
Okay. So to go back to your music now that we've agony aunted.
Yeah.
And we were kind of like so random, but I think because of how like heavy like you are with the storytelling in your songs, I feel like we can really picture your songs like soundtracking like a movie or a TV show. And we just wanted to know like, if you could pick any show or film to have your music soundtrack on, what would it be?
Oh my gosh. That's such a good question.
And we should have probably given you time to prepare because their possibilities are endless.
I think, I'm trying to think like along. Do you know what? If there was like another movie like Juno, or like, or something along those lines, that would be really fun. I'm trying to think of a series.
Not that we have any music, so like there's no like basis for this, but I think it'd be cool to have a song in The Summer I Turn Pretty, just because I really like the way they really use the songs in the narrative. Like it's very carefully
The Summer I
selected
Turn
what's going
Pretty.
on.
Yeah. What's that movie with is it Edge of 17? Edge of 17.
Yeah.
Like all those movies.
Yeah.
Or like really like randomly like dramatic. Doesn't even have to be like coming of age, like a thriller. Do you know what I mean? And then it's like Space for Two or something, and it's like
I have like a really rogue one, but
Yeah.
I'd love to see you like soundtrack like a period like romance.
Yeah.
Like that is so like I don't know where that just came from in my head, but like I would love to see that.
Oh, make that happen.
Yeah. I can see like anything for you being like maybe like a bit of a darker show, like Killing Eve or something like that. That would be fun. Like she's like going down the street and it's like
I would love to see that.
Yeah.
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 That would be fun.
I don't know how we can make this happen. Maybe we send some emails.
Yeah, send some emails around, please.
Please put this in a film.
Yeah.
So, do you actually know how that works? Do you get approached by a film or what? Or do you have to submit? Do you actually know any of?
Yeah. So like, a lot of us have publishers. So then the publishers pitch your songs, or like you'll get an email like, we need a song for this TV show that's like, it's always really niche. It's like, it's about a mother in her like 20s and like blah blah blah, and it's like, I don't know what song about that, but sometimes like you do have the song, and but yeah.
Thanks.
Good to know. Like, what we're gonna do with that?
I don't know, because I like, there's a few songs that have been on Made in Chelsea quite a few times. Like those songs always like randomly get on Made in Chelsea. It's like, it's so random. But I think they just approach me usually with that one. So I think it depends. Yeah.
Imagine if there was one on Love Island, like what song? Because you
Love.
kind of answered. We were going to say about like what specific song, but what specific song for Love Island would be cool?
Oh, it depends on the scene, doesn't it? I think. I don't know. Maybe like, you know, Space for Two, how it's just like really quiet, like muffled guitars, and it's like a little cozy scene where they're like on those big beds, and they're like.
Or like the balcony, you know, how that everyone always like hides off in the balcony.
Yeah.
Who was it? Oh, like someone in the last season when they were like, was it like Ronnie and Harriet on the balcony, and he was asking her to be his girlfriend, like in the background to that. I can kind of picture something like really like cozy, and there's like some like strawberries or something.
Oh, cute! And they've got like the little plastic champagne floats. Yeah, I can see that.
I love that we started this by being like, you have such a clear vision, and here we are like setting up a Love Island scene.
Thriller, like Love Island, coming of age film.
Cool. So we're staying in the fictional world, or I guess, is Love Island fiction, non-fiction? You decide.
Yeah, you decide.
Do you find that there's a fictional character that you resonate with personally? And you have an answer for yourself if this helps.
Do you?
Yeah, all the time when I'm like walking around, if I'm in like a little coat and I have like a little bag, I always feel like I'm Paddington Bear. You know, when you're like walking across London, and I think sometimes I have a bit of an awkward walk, and I kind of like, I'm very like in my own world when I'm walking around. Sometimes I walk and I'm like, I just feel like I'm giving Paddington right now, like just like exploring London, like feel like I'm about to like stumble into some trouble and not realise I'm in trouble. Like, I don't know, I just really feel it.
Do you know what I've been thinking a lot recently about Angelina Ballerina?
Yes.
Do you remember?
Absolutely.
Do you remember Angelina Ballerina? And I feel like if it was any fictional character, like it would be like a cartoon, or like it wouldn't be like an actual human fictional character.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We talk about Angelina Ballerina all the time, and now I actually will think about you because that does make sense.
Do you think?
Like,
yeah, Angelina Ballerina,
Yeah.
like she's just trying her best.
I want to
You know?
get a tattoo of Angelina Ballerina, so I just want to say now that it's not you. If I get that, if you see that I've got it,
Like,
that's
love you.
like portrait.
Like, we really bonded this morning with all that setup. Like, I had to get a tattoo to like commemorate it.
I don't know, like I used to be, this is really embarrassing, so I used to be really obsessed with like dolls. Like I used to, did you guys ever collect like American Girl dolls? You know, like I used to collect them when I was little, so I feel like, yeah, they were sick. Like every doll had like their own, like they were in their own period. So they had a doll called Samantha, she was like World War II.
No.
Wow.
Yeah. It was sick.
I was a collector kid.
Yeah.
I was a big like toys, dolls, anything.
Yeah,
I
love
want
dolls.
them, and I want them in like XS.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah, no, agreed.
Did
Agreed.
you ever decide on one?
What
A fictional
character?
character that you resonate with?
I feel very conflicted about this answer because I have slagged her off a lot, Lorelai Gilmore, because as much as I kind of don't wish to be like her, not all of her decisions, I will say, I do
Decisions
feel
are
like
hard.
the basic like tropes of her personality, I do feel that. And I found out that her as the character, her birthday is one day before mine.
Really?
So she's also a Taurus.
She's a Taurus.
I'm feeling that's
No,
probably the
like
case.
I love her. She just makes bad decisions.
Yeah.
And she's definitely like Marmite though. Some people literally can't watch the show because they're like, Lorelai's insufferable.
And she kind of is, and also Rory is, but
No,
I
they
do see
both are.
myself,
They
like-
both are.
And
in
is
a
that
lot
not
of
what being
ways.
human is being a bit insufferable?
Yeah.
Like, is that not part of it? Like,
Yeah,
you can't
fully.
be a bit annoying.
Look, the show is so focused like around her.
Mm.
You're gonna get sick of her after like binge watching.
Yeah.
10
Yeah, if she
episodes.
was a side character, she'd come in, do her moments, and go. And
Yeah,
you
no
wouldn't
one
really
would get
see all
annoyed
of
by
the,
it.
like the stress of her going on. You'd just be like, shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
No, I love that.
You can take
I'm
that.
not
You,
sure.
You're subject to change. We're all changing humans. Like,
I know.
you can be Lorelai and
No, I've said it
tomorrow you
now.
pick someone else.
Yeah, I was having this discussion with my friends the other day about Sex and the City characters, like which one would we all be?
Mm.
We're a big believer in like sun and risings.
Oh,
for
really?
that. Yeah, we're
What-
big like.
We've done like major and minor
Oh,
as
yeah,
well. Like
yeah.
Really?
you can be like
She
mainly,
can't be
but
one.
some.
Like that is so hard.
No, you
to
can't.
be
You
one.
can't.
What
No.
do you think you are? Or a combination?
I want to say Carrie Bradshaw, maybe.
That's a bold
Writer.
statement.
Do you think? What would you
Yeah.
guys be?
I well, I used to say that. So
say.
I'm mainly Miranda.
Yeah.
but I know that for sure, 100%.
Yeah, no. To be fair, you do.
Um,
Miranda, that makes
and
sense.
I've kind of said like my minor would be Charlotte, but I think that's kind of changing towards Samantha now. I'm not sure. It just
I feel
stresses
like
me
I've
out.
got like a little bit of Charlotte in me.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then Carrie Bradshaw makes really bad decisions all the
Yeah.
time. So I don't know.
It's just a complex character.
She's very
it's
complex.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was yours?
yours?
Yours used to be.
Mine used to be Charlotte
Charlotte.
Major. I think I used to say that I was Miranda Minor, but I
Minor.
think I'm really not that anymore. But I don't wholeheartedly believe that I'm a Charlotte. I don't know what my minor is right now. I only have 2 more options if I said
Yeah.
it's not Miranda. Maybe Carrie Minor.
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
no, I think, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, this is
Very
like a real,
minor.
like, I feel like I'm having like a mini identity crisis because for so long I was that. And then as we were talking about this, I was like, I don't think
You've
I identify
changed,
with
yeah.
that. But I think, yeah, Charlotte Major.
Do you know what? I feel like our characters would stick post 30.
Yeah.
As in, like, I
Yeah,
feel like
yeah.
when we've decided our characters, like, that's who we are.
Yeah, and it just settles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait to be in my 30s.
Yeah.
I literally can't wait.
Yeah. She's
Like,
gonna
still-
have it. It was her birthday this weekend. Like, this is a bold conversation.
Oh, really? Sorry.
I
I'm
just
touching it.
like every year I turn panics me, but
Yeah,
I love
same.
the idea of the future and when I will be settled in the age that I like
Yeah,
being. And,
yeah.
like, although it's not now, I don't know how old you are. But
Yeah.
my age is 25.
Okay, yeah,
So I
yeah,
don't,
yeah.
I don't know.
No,
but-
I think, I don't know. I think early 20s is, like, really fun because you're like, I'm in my early 20s. Like,
Yeah.
like, But then late 20s is like,
Yeah.
I'm approaching 30.
Yeah, what my brother had as his
Oh.
Instagram bio was it circling 30. I'm like every year I'm
Okay.
creeping forward to like circling 30
But I do-
and then you
I
just
do
are.
think, like,
Yeah.
because he had it, didn't he? Like, he's gonna be like, why are you talking about me on tuning in? He had it where, like, the moment he turned 30, he was like, it's happened. It's kind of like the album, isn't it? It's like, when I'm 30,
Yeah,
I'm in
yeah,
my 30s. And I've
yeah.
got people at work as well who are just like, once it happens, you're just like, oh, I'm 30
You just
now, like, that's
accept it and this is where I am
Yeah.
and that's fine.
Yeah, and
like, I
and
can't
think,
wait.
Yeah, I think maybe that is why, because your 20s, it feels like you're like plummeting towards, especially as
They're
a woman, you
awful.
hit like
Yeah.
past like 23 and you're like, oh, I'm getting closer and closer.
Yeah.
And I think maybe there is like, it is the like albums out at midnight, like turn 30 at midnight, that's that.
Like,
you, have
done.
you have a moment to be like, that happened.
Yeah.
And then
but
it's just
it's
who you
happened.
are.
Yeah, I
What
think-
changes nothing. You're just still you.
It's funny, isn't it? Because I don't reckon like guys would think about their age so much. Like I just don't think
No.
they don't give a fuck. Like
No.
they're just like I am my age.
You're just
But I
enough
feel like
and
it's
out.
probably like a child thing. Like if you
Mm.
if you want kids,
Mm-hmm.
like especially if you're a creative, I don't know.
It's even more kind of taxing, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, do I do music or do I choose
Yeah.
motherhood?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Don't worry, I'm not choosing
to
motherhood.
keep talking
Just
about
yet.
Charlie, but
Oh, girls.
Oh yeah, no, girls are good music. Like
I think
Yeah.
about it all
I
the
think
time.
about it
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
Like that, it's so valid. The first time I heard that song, I was in the gym and I was just like, I feel so like validated.
Yeah.
And she is older than, like she's a little bit older
yeah.
than me, but like, it is like you can't like
Yeah.
imagine you can't like have a baby and go on tour.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You'd have to take like a good, like a couple of maybe a year or so off. Like,
And it's that again. I wonder if maybe
I mean, you could, to be fair. Like,
but I think it's
just
such
more
like
to
a...
it's like a lot, yeah.
Men don't think about aging, obviously, because of the biological clock and things like that, but I also
Yeah.
do think, like, I don't know, I think there is something in, like, almost wanting to be selfish to keep indulging in being a creative and, like, living out your dreams, but also, like, not wanting to... But then being like, oh, is that selfish? That, like, I don't want to take a baby on tour, or, like, not tour because I've got a kid. Like, I think it is that, like...
I don't think that's so, yeah.
I don't think so, but I think there might be, like, something in the back of your head, like, not your head, but
Yeah,
one's
yeah,
head, but
yeah.
it's like, oh, is it selfish for me to not want to, like, just quit and just, like...
It's such a
you know,
headache.
It's so, like...
It's literally giving me a headache. Thinking about it. I'm like,
like, so philosophical. Like, we started this by talking about Paddington Bear.
I know.
And now we're, like, our biological clocks.
it's a
like, this is
nightmare.
crazy.
And like, it's literally going over my head. And like all the people around you are like, oh, it's so hard to like have children like after 35, like it's impossible. And it's like, well,
It's so
I
scary.
don't want them, like, yeah.
We've taken a real sinister turn. I need to
sorry.
I need to lighten
Yeah,
the
I
mood
know.
a bit. Like, I can't have you. Like, when
Sorry.
near the end of this, I can't have you leaving feeling so stressed. like,
No, it's good. It's good. Like it's good.
So let's talk about something a
Sorry.
bit more like fun, so you don't leave feeling existential.
Okay.
Is that obviously you have a collab with Pixie? So I feel like was just like one for the ages, and when you were teasing that and when it was announced, you were like, oh my god, this is like perfect. I love this. And yeah, I like just think this is one of my like favorite combos that like I've ever seen. But do you want to do more collabs in the future, and if so, like who are your dream collaborators?
My dream collabs. Yeah, defo. I was before Pixie, like I'd never done a collab, so it was funny like navigating it. Like we kind of went into write and we were like, ooh, is
Did you
it?
know each other before?
No, not really. No, we didn't. We kind of did like through like the northern like music scene, I guess. Like we'd like pass across a few times, but yeah, we didn't really. But yeah, I remember we did the session and like we wrote the song and we were like so like, you know, because she's doing more like production for other artists and stuff like that. So she was like, no, I'd love to be on it, and I was like, yeah. And then like it kind of blossomed from there, like the friendship. But who would be my dream collab? I'm trying to think. Like someone like totally unrealistic, or someone like really realistic.
The major and the minor, isn't it? Like,
yeah, it's a major and the minor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. You know, I'm obsessed with Samia. If you guys have listened to Samia, like probably her. Like really obsessed. Like her album just came out on Friday as well, so I've been listening to that. So probably Samia, and yeah. I think
that's a good response. I'd like to see that.
Yeah, and then thinking like Love Ella. Have you guys listened to Ella? It's like ELL. Like love to write with her. Have you listened to like God Help Me Now? Because I was gonna say I was like,
you did it.
I reviewed it.
Did you? Yeah, it's so good. So good. Like that would be really fun
as well.
Yeah, no, she's a hoot. Yeah, I think they're my answers. You know what? They change every day because like the music that I like changes like literally every day. So at the moment, I'd say they were my answers.
And you have begun teasing new music.
Yeah.
And you're kind of exploring themes of like complex female friendships.
Yeah, oh my god.
We love.
Yeah.
I feel like Nardwar.
Yeah.
But yeah, could you tell us a bit about like, I guess while we're thinking about your experience, so I guess working with Pixie in the studio and then having like friendships blossom from that, can you like tell us a bit about your experiences with that and like how it is informing this new era of your music?
Yeah, I think collabing, like there's always going to be like an air of competitiveness, and I think like you'd be lying if you like, you know, like you scroll through Instagram or whatever and you see like another like girl doing something but it's better than you, like you're naturally going to be like, oh, but like that is like the wrong emotion to have. I think that's just like everyone else kind of telling you that like, oh, because like she's better than her, or like she's, and like that is like the wrong emotion to have. Like I think the more we like support and uplift everyone, the less like scary I kind of forgotten what the question was now.
How I guess like, that is it, but like I guess how these female relationships are informing your, I guess, the songwriting.
The songwriting. Yeah, it's funny as well because like I've started writing with Jack and Luke, my band, and like obviously they're two guys, but it's kind of given me more like lyrical freedom, I think, because before I was kind of collaboratively writing lots of the lyrics, and I think now I'm just kind of writing the lyrics like on my own. Like they'll be cooking and I'll just be like scribbling like in the corner. And I think I've kind of, I'm probably touching on subjects that I've not. I think, you know, in the last few years it's all been quite like romantic, or it's been like about, you know, like coming of age and stuff like that. And I think the subjects that I'm writing about now, like I mean, maybe I've matured, I don't know. But they're more like niche subjects, you know. They're like, I think the song about the complex female friendship, that was, I don't think a lot of people like talk about that. I mean, like obviously Charlie did, maybe that like inspired it a little bit more, but I think they're niche like subjects, so
for lack of like saying the literal phrase, but we think about female friendships and like relationships all the time. And we were in like a workshop the other day, and we kind of got on a bit of a tangent about it, and we were kind of saying like it's, especially in like creative industries, like people literally will like climb over you to get what you want, and I think what we were trying to say there, and I'm probably butchering it, is that all it takes is for like you to switch that thinking and you to treat another female creative with respect, and then it will like start snowballing.
It does,
and everyone feels the same way. Like again, like guests we've had on here before have felt the same way, where it's kind of like I want to see difference and I want it to be a nice atmosphere, but it takes like slow steps.
Yeah,
and I think we're very passionate, obviously, because tuning in, but like we're very passionate about it.
I think it's really important. I remember going into that session now, and I was like a bit like you know, and like we just were chatting, and we'd all like, me and like Pixie had both had the same experiences like in the industry, and it was literally like the most validating day. Like I came out and I was like, oh, like I'm not my own, I've never had that before. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's so important to do it. And I had a writing session with another artist the other week as well, and like had exactly the same thing, and she was like, oh, I had no idea that like that was a thing, and I was like, and then we're all like, oh
well, every time we meet with a female creator, we leave feeling so good. Like
so
we met with a
good.
photographer like a few weeks ago, we're still talking about it because we left just feeling so happy. And every time we're like, so we had this experience, and even if you're completely different, like photographer, Janice, every time they're like, I've had that before.
It's so good.
But because you are so scared because of that competitiveness, feel like people don't do it. And since we started the series, and since we started reaching out to people and just being like, you're cool, do you want to chat? It's crazy how quickly things seem more like vibrant and less scary.
It builds community the more we just talk about what it's like to be in these spaces.
Yeah, it does. There's a group that I'm part of as well called Loud London. I don't even live in London, like I don't know how they've allowed me to come in, like I literally live in Manchester, but like so I'm not like as involved in the group like as I'd want to be, but it is so nice. Like the chat's like all like kind of a constant thing, so I like, but if I do like open it and read it, I'm like, that's so nice. Like they're like, does anyone know any like photographers, anyone know any makeup artists, and like, or I had this happen to me today, and everyone's like, it's literally so wholesome. Like there should be more of that. In fact, we should do like therapy groups. We should do like creative female therapy, or like sit in a circle and be like,
wow,
how do we like facilitate this? We absolutely, like I find myself therapizing anyone that ever comes into this
Let's do it. Okay, so we're on to the last question now. Who do you want to nominate for us to tune into next?
Okay, I'm gonna say Pixie. I feel like that would be mean if I didn't. Also, she's like really scouse and really fun. And Ella. Pixie and Ella. I feel like they're the girls up north representing the northern music scene.
I love that.
Love
I
it.
actually think you were trying to get Pixie on the show at the same time we were trying to get you on the show.
Yeah.
So like
So-
should we just like heal our inner 2022 selves?
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
get everyone on.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming.
Pleasure.
chatting
Thank you for
with
having me.
and like helping us set up the studio.
Pleasure.
I can't
Anytime.
pay you a day wage, but like.
Yeah, give me a call. Like, I'll come
You
help.
can keep the water bottle.
I just like sit and watch this projection. Like, it's so nice. Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.